Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into the struggle of maintaining a healthy work life balance with the eye opening insights found in Win at Work and Succeed at Life, published in 2021. Taking a critical look at the modern culture of long working hours, this book provides a roadmap for professionals who aspire to thrive in both their careers and personal lives without sacrificing one for the other. Co-authored by leadership expert Michael Hyatt and his daughter Megan Hyatt Miller, this book is grounded in the experiences and credible perspectives of individuals who have not only theorized, but also implemented the ideals of balance and success. Michael Hyatt brings his wisdom as the founder and chairman of Michael Hyatt & Co., a leadership development firm, and his insights have been endorsed by reputed publications including the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, and Fast Company. Meanwhile, Megan, as the CEO of Michael Hyatt & Co., alongside her role as co-host of the Lead to Win podcast, presents a dynamic and refreshing approach to achieving professional fulfillment. Win at Work and Succeed at Life is an essential listen for anyone grappling with burnout, overwhelmed by the stress of their professional life, or those in leadership roles seeking to foster a culture of engagement and well-being among their teams. Join us as we summarize the key concepts and actionable strategies that this book offers, all aimed at helping you craft a more balanced, integrated, and successful life. Win at Work and Succeed at Life. 5 Principles to Free Yourself from the Cult of Overwork. Introduction. The Myth of Constant Hustle. How overworking sabotages both success and happiness. In the modern world, there seems to be a silent collective agreement that success at work demands relentless effort and endless hours. This mindset, however, is a treacherous trap, one that ensnares your health, relationships, and even undermines the professional success you're striving for. Imagine waking up one day realizing your life has become a monotonous cycle of work with little to no space for personal joy or growth. It's a common story, and perhaps your story too. The toll of overworking stalks quietly, deteriorating your health, straining your relationships, and ironically, diminishing your productivity. And yet, the allure of the grind remains, convincing you that more hours at the desk equals more achievements in life. But what if there were another way? A more sustainable path that allows you to excel at your profession while simultaneously thriving in your personal life. This is where we shift our perspective, moving away from the glorified hustle towards an understanding that real success is a blend of good work and good living. In this deep dive into the balancing act between work and life, we'll uncover the counterintuitive truth that working longer hours can often mean accomplishing less, the surprising insights a wandering mind can contribute to your life's tapestry, and the transformative restorative power of reclaiming your sleep. Prepare to challenge the status quo as we embark on a journey to redefine what it means to truly win, at work and at life. Part 1. Burning both ends isn't the way to glow brighter. Sometimes the victories we crave carry hidden sorrows, a lesson Michael Hyatt learned when a seemingly triumphant bonus left his wife in tears. The prize Hyatt held, which symbolized achievement, unexpectedly illuminated the cost of his ceaseless labor. A family feeling abandoned and a partnership strained to its limits. This revelation shattered the mirage that he had been successfully juggling the demands of work and home. The primary takeaway is poignant. Work should enrich your life, not consume it. Hyatt's tale is alarmingly familiar across the bustling landscape of professional America, where the seductive chant of busy equals effective drowns out the cries of our own well-being. Consider this: diving headfirst into work for more than 55 hours per week significantly spikes your risk for severe health issues like strokes and heart attacks. The relentless pursuit of work doesn't just scourge the body but also scorns the heart, with dedicated CEOs and entrepreneurs finding their marriages frayed at the edges more often than not. But if the warning signs are flashing, why do so many continue to rev their engines until they're running on fumes? In the midst of personal turmoil, the habitual recourse for those caught in this cycle is to work harder, toil longer, and push further. This response, which Hyatt dubs the hustle fallacy, may seem paradoxical to some, but for achievers bent on success, hard work is their panacea, their universal solvent. They believe that by amplifying their efforts, they can triumph over the mounting chaos at home. However, more work can never be the salve for the wounds caused by too much work. Thankfully, time-worn wisdom suggests there's light at the end of the tunnel. The true equilibrium of work and life lies beyond the relentless grind. And, as our exploration continues, we'll uncover strategies that promise to guide you out of the overwhelm and into the balance that you seek. Part 2. When work is a siren and home feels like the open sea decades ago, the crystal ball gazers of the 20th century foresaw a future where technological advancements would whittle our work hours down to a mere fraction. They conjured up visions of leisurely societies, pondering how days would be filled once the necessity of prolonged labor was wiped clean by the miracles of progress. Yet casting an eye over our own bustling agendas quickly dispels this misplaced prophecy. The era of easy communication and swift technological prowess has not liberated us from our desks. If anything, it has extended their reach. The ever-presence of smartphones has nudged the workweek's clock, padding it with an additional 11 hours, stretching routines to an onerous 80 hours for many professionals. The heart of the matter is this: the allure of the modern work environment can be intoxicating. It's not just the technology tethering us to our toil. The very nature of today's professional tasks is part of the charm. Successful individuals often find themselves enveloped in work that sparks their intellect, kindles their passions, and bestows a rewarding sense of accomplishment. When work shuffles off the mundane and blossoms into a playground of captivating puzzles, it's no small wonder that retreat from the office becomes an unexpected struggle. Yet home, shouldn't it be the ultimate haven, equal in its draw and delight? The answer is clouded by complexity. Unlike work, with its neat objectives and gratifying validations, life at home is an intricate tapestry woven with nuanced expectations and unrehearsed rhythms. The household chores rarely sing songs of joy, and the relational dance lacks the clear cues and applauding audience that we bask in after professional performances. This mismatch in immediate rewards tempts many to linger in their comfortable swivel chairs rather than navigate the capricious weather systems of home life. They're unwittingly caught in the undertow, failing to see how their absence dries up the wells of personal bonds. It's a sobering realization that, as magnetic as the glow of the desk lamp can be, it's the gentle light of the hearth that keeps the foundation of our lives warm. Balancing these forces is not just beneficial, it's essential. Lest the tapestry fray and the home lights dim. Part 3. Carve out time for what truly matters. The clock ticks impartially for all, meting out the same 168 hours each week to both the CEO and the intern. It's a precious commodity that high flyers often invest heavily into their careers, sometimes at the expense of what gives life its richest meaning. But there is hope. The secret lies in consciously choosing to safeguard what's indispensable to your well-being and relationships. The essence of this strategy is simple. Place unwavering emphasis on your well-being and your connections. First on the list of essentials is self-care. Imagine your life as a puzzle where you're the centerpiece. If that piece is worn or missing, the other parts can't fit together seamlessly. This metaphor encapsulates why activities aimed at personal rejuvenation, nutritious meals, ample rest, regular exercise, are as critical as any business meeting. Self-care extends beyond the physical, embracing the time spent with loved ones or immersed in hobbies that bring joy. When you're at your peak, every facet of your life, from your professional to your personal sphere, resonates with the harmony of your well-being. Next in line of non-negotiables are your relationships. Consider Megan Hyatt Miller's approach. No matter how demanding her schedule, she never wavers from family dinners 5 nights a week, weekly date nights with her husband, and Sunday church service. While it's common for professionals to nurture work relationships with unwavering devotion, they often inadvertently leave personal ties to wither. This oversight can leave a void that echoes loudly when jobs shift and the office camaraderie fades. The insights of Bronnie Ware, who spent years listening to the regrets of those at life's twilight, echo loudly here. Top among these laments was the pain of neglecting cherished friendships. For many, particularly men, a recurring sorrow was surrendering too much of life's tapestry to work's demanding clutches. So next time you're torn between joining friends for a weekend getaway or plowing through office projects, remember, a keen sense of perspective can prevent the hindsight wish that you'd lived more for moments rather than milestones. Fostering personal ties and caring for oneself aren't chores to be squeezed into the margins of a planner. They're the threads that weave a life well lived. Balancing this with a fulfilling career isn't just a desirable goal, it is the essence of a life without regrets. Part 4. Less can be more. The paradox of productive limitations. Much like water is the lifeblood of nature, work is essential to our modern existence. Yet, both are best served in controlled measures. A river is majestic and useful within its banks, but becomes a force of destruction when it overflows. Work, in quite the same way, requires definition and boundaries to harness its true potential. Let's dispel a common myth perpetuated by many success pundits. That endless work equates to endless productivity. It simply isn't true. And here's the nub of the matter. To boost your output, trim your hours. Skeptical? Research firmly backs this statement, revealing a striking truth. Working beyond 50 hours weekly boasts no incremental benefits. After that threshold, productivity doesn't just plateau, it vanishes. A study even showcased that managers were unable to differentiate between employees' output regardless of whether they genuinely worked 80-minute hours or merely pretended to. So, what's the magic behind working within stringent time constraints? Michael Hyatt discovered the secret when he committed to clocking out at 6 p.m. daily and reserving weekends for rest. Initially fretted with apprehension about his tasks, he indeed found some items remained unchecked at week's end. But he recognized an immutable fact. The role of a CEO is forever inundated with demands, far outstripping the hours available. Imposing time boundaries didn't change this. It illuminated it. Here's where the real transformation occurred. Facing a fixed work window each day, Hyatt instinctively prioritized tasks with the greatest significance. The fluff fell away, leaving space for the work that truly impacted his and his company's goals. Constraints, it appears, are less about restriction and more about refinement. Embracing such limits ensures we pour our energy into the streams that drive us forward, preventing us from running aground. By infusing every hour at work with purpose, we inadvertently free ourselves to live, and live well, beyond the office too. Thus, to journey efficiently through your professional terrain, sometimes the smartest choice is to draw the map a bit smaller. Part 5. Mastering the subtle art of work-life harmony. The quest for work-life balance may sometimes feel like chasing an elusive shadow, akin to yearning for a mirage in a desert. But the idea isn't as fantastical as it seems. According to the authors, work-life balance isn't a pipe dream, it's an achievable state. The journey toward harmony begins with a clear understanding of what balance means and what it does not. Before we dive into the essence of balance, let's clear a common misconception. Balance is not synonymous with a hiatus. Overwhelmed individuals might mistake their yearning for equilibrium with the need to press pause and flee from fatigue. But true balance isn't akin to taking a deep breath on the sidelines. Rather, it is about sustainable pacing in the game itself. Work-life balance is about consciously juggling the elements of your busy life. Albert Einstein once likened living to the act of pedaling a bicycle. To stay upright, you must keep in motion. This analogy strikes at the heart of the work-life equilibrium. A fulfilling life demands that we make small, ongoing adjustments as we propel ourselves ahead, maintaining a level playing field among life's diverse roles. Achieving balance doesn't dictate equal time across all life's arenas. It's about allocating time sensibly. Your life will ebb and flow. There will be seasons of professional hustle, demanding more attention, and others when the home front calls for your presence. Think of new parenthood as a prime example for tipping the scales toward the personal realm. The authors urge intentionality when it comes to finding your balance. It isn't a prize that falls into your lap. It takes deliberate calculation and proactive choices about allocating your moments, lest you slip into the drift of occupational dominance. If left unchecked, work can swiftly consume the hours, days, and years, leaving you with a haunting question: why didn't I spend more time with those I love? To navigate these waters adeptly, keep your hands firmly on the rudder, not merely reacting, but steering with purpose. In this way, work-life balance is less about splitting time evenly and more about tilting the scales thoughtfully, ensuring that all facets of life receive their due in due time. Part 6. Embrace the quiet moments and let creativity blossom. Creativity often favors the quiet corners of our lives, far from the maelstrom of our daily routines. Take the story of a young writer on a delayed train journey in 1990, her gaze lost in the passing landscape. With not even a pen at hand, she found herself in a rare pocket of stillness, and in that unanticipated pause, an entire magical world crystallized in her mind. J.K. Rowling's hours of idle train gazing laid the groundwork for the phenomenon that would become Harry Potter. Here is the profound truth: stillness ignites a wildfire of creativity. For the industrious among us, the notion of stepping back from work, even briefly, can seem counterintuitive. Achievements in the workplace are commonly equated with constant motion, with little regard for the untapped potential that lies in repose. But make no mistake, the power of taking a break is disproportionately larger than what seems like its direct costs to immediate productivity. Your brain is a marvel that doesn't simply power down when given respite. Instead, it shifts gears, surreptitiously sifting through ideas, piecing puzzles together, coalescing concepts into innovative solutions. While not every idle moment might birth a literary empire, that reflective downtime will invigorate your problem-solving lens, polishing it to a new sheen when you return to the task at hand. Unchecked, human thought roams freely, lassoing disparate ideas into uncharted territories, a feat no computer can emulate. Where a machine's light extinguishes completely with the flip of a switch, our mental engines only grow more luminous. The mundane, a meal prepared, a garden tended, a shower's cascade, these become the courtyards where our ingenuity soars and pirouettes. Taking a rest, it turns out, isn't about idling aimlessly but activating a different mode of cerebral prowess. It's in these interludes, these oases of tranquility, that humanity's genius often finds its deepest wells. And so the message resounds clear: value your pauses as the potent fountains they are, for it is from these quiet depths that waves of human creativity are birthed. Part 7. The vital link between sleep and peak performance. Listeners might find themselves caught in the high-profile narrative that champions sleep as an expendable luxury. Tech giants like Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk wear their scant hours of slumber like badges of honor, suggesting that to forge empires one must sacrifice the sanctity of sleep. But take heed. Behind the entrepreneurial bravado lies a perilous misconception. Allow this crucial bit of wisdom to sink in. Ample sleep is not a luxury. It's a cornerstone of high performance. Here's the stark reality. Poor sleep leads to subpar performance. Neglecting the rejuvenating embrace of sleep doesn't just catch up with you in under-eye shadows. It diminishes your immune defenses, tiptoes you towards weight gain, and, perhaps most notably, it muddies the waters of your work performance. Sleep-deprived individuals often exhibit faltering judgment, grasping at strategies with flawed foundations. The irony is bitter, for as you accumulate a sleep debt, the first ability you forfeit is recognizing your diminished state. You're swimming against the current, unaware of your sluggish strokes. Beyond self-perception, fatigue tarnishes your interactions. A sleep-starved individual is more prone to sowing discord with a less tactful, more abrasive communication style. But what ferments this culture of sleepless elite? Often, a deficiency in rest is paradoxically a symbolic display of one's importance, a declaration that one is so steeped in demand that the night is too brief for their endeavors. Yet, those who understand the true equation of productivity know that sleep is the silent partner to success. To harness more restful nights and more dynamic days, forge a sanctuary of calm as dusk falls. For instance, drawing the line at 7 p.m. for business communications can shield your evening hours from the tentacles of office anxieties. Observe the routines and rituals that keep you tethered to alertness where relaxation should prevail, and establish boundaries that guard your transition into sleep. Remember, to soar in the daylight hours, you must first anchor in the depths of peaceful slumber. So rejig your routines, secure your nights on a bedrock of rest, and watch as your waking hours bloom with an energy that only sleep can bestow. Final summary. The insights gleaned here underscore a vital truth. Your work does not exist in isolation. As you step through the revolving doors of your office, your personal world accompanies you, for better or for worse. Should turmoil brew in the backdrop of your life, it's only a matter of time before it seeps into your professional endeavors. Crafting a legacy of lasting success means tending to the garden of your personal well-being and nurturing the bonds that tether you to life outside the corporate realm. Herein lies the condensed wisdom of maintaining holistic success. Your journey at work is deeply interwoven with the tapestry of your wider life. It's imperative to place the same vigor that fuels your career into self-care and relationship building. Strike a balance that allows for relaxation and embrace activities that spur joy and health. Set definitive bounds around your work commitments to prevent them from stretching into every crevice of your life. To cultivate a career that rises in harmony with a rich and rounded personal existence, tend to each aspect with intention. Balance isn't about finding the midpoint between work and life. It's about purposefully allocating your precious hours to nurture each domain appropriately. Remember, a life well lived is not defined by toil alone, but by the laughter, love, and wellness that encircles it. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.